living with cystic fibrosis, there are a lot of those times in life where we're forced to think through the valley of the shadow of death. And
good morning, guys. It is a beautiful, sunny, warm day, and I took advantage of it to do a little yard work this morning. And you'll see in our backyard, this area here, I've been working on clearing out all the debris. This whole backyard before we moved into the house was kind of a wooded area, not landscaped at all. Our eventual goal is to clear out all of the debris, leaves. In the back is they had taken out some trees and just mulched them along the back. We're working on, I'm going to eventually move all of that over to, in this area, we're not going to be able to grow any grass over there, so I'm working on moving all the mulch and everything over to that area. Anyways, I'm sweaty and it feels good to get some work done. Hi, honey. She's alive.
And I even did the, oh boy, the blowing thing.
Yep, Mary got put on the leaf blower and helped kind of blow some of the debris through the yard. It's warm, isn't it?
It's amazing.
And how are your lungs today?
Really junky.
Really junky, but she's alive and awake.
My head doesn't even hurt.
That's amazing.
So amazing out here, and even though it's kind of a strange time that we're all quarantined in our own little homes and little worlds, it's kind of it's kind of cool to have a time where we can come out here and work in the yard and not feel the pressure of our normal schedules. So here you go, sir. So we're just soaking up this time.
Mary said I smell like a barnyard.
Well, I smell a barnyard. I'm not sure where the
source of it is.
Source is. So we're really enjoying this time, especially since we're feeling so much better.
Yes.
Like, the thought of doing this yesterday was like, So is this a shrub? I feel like maybe that's a shrub. I feel like maybe we should plant it somewhere. It's pretty cool. Miracles everywhere you look. Right, Ollie?
Well, what have you been working on?
Well, I decided we have 2 chicken breasts left, and we have a couple of packages of ground beef. So I thought maybe we should make some sloppy joes and some fresh Maryland corn.
Nice.
From the freezer.
So what's in your sloppy joes?
Alright, so it is ground beef, onion, fresh garlic, and then garlic powder, onion powder, tomato sauce, Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar, and we didn't have mustard, which it called for, so I did apple cider vinegar.
Nice.
That's a good idea.
I tasted it. It's delicious. I don't want this
to get your bun soggy.
Okay.
Don't get your bun soggy.
Don't get your bun soggy now.
Oh, I'm feeling really... I'm guessing this clip is coming right after we eat. It's not directly after we ate. I wasn't able to eat a whole ton. I just didn't feel right. Oh. but the food was okay. It tasted good. But I've been like going out and trying to help, and then I'm like, oh, I do not feel good, coughing really hard, all the things. But I'm just so thankful today that I've felt so good. I know that's kind of funny coming from at this moment where I really don't feel good. But even right now in this moment, I feel infinitely better than the last 2 weeks. Yeah, so Peter is still working outside. It's amazing. We're gonna sleep so good tonight. But yeah, it was a very fun day of doing yard work and being together and not being a zombie.
You shall follow me. And it's just this, like, you're surrounded by him. And
we just had a live, how would it be called? Like a
hangout.
Live hangout for a Bible study tonight, and it was just really good. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
So that was very life-giving and refreshing. And
because we were actually talking about while we were on the video call how this is Mary's everyday reality of having to think outside of the box sometimes to connect with people, because she's always had to be careful about germs. Obviously we're on like notches above that right now with the coronavirus and the risk that is to Mary's lungs. Anyways, we were talking about how we sometimes have this ideal vision of what it looks like to connect with people, or to be the church, or to go through your week or your month, and now people are being forced to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that's a practice that Mary and I have been forced to do before coronavirus was a thing. It's just really sweet to connect over video, and I think everybody was kind of craving that human interaction as everybody's been self-isolating and quarantining to their house.
And like, you know, at church, how I can't shake hands or give hugs, and I always feel like the freak in the crowd. Like, people are like, hi, good morning, and I'm like, It's a lot of explaining, and guess what? All of a sudden, nobody's shaking hands, and I'm not the freak.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting going forward from once we're past this, but once we are, I think there's going to be like a difference in society in terms of germs and
people's view on being cautious. And
well, I think there's just going to be less for us of that need to explain, you know?
Yeah, so I could just be like, and I won't have to say. Because
before now, it's always been like, to refuse a handshake is rude. Or you know that it
feels rude.
It could come across as rude without an explanation. And I don't know, I just think there's gonna be more understanding on the level of germs. At least I hope there is.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was a sweet time of just connecting over video and talking about life and processing our fears and worries. And
we read Psalm 23, and it was just a really poignant look into that deep longing that we have for peace.
I think if you search Psalm 23 Peter Frey, a sermon should come up, but it's one that's near and dear to my heart.
I was going to post on Instagram, and when I opened up Psalm 23 on my phone Bible, it was automatically in the paraphrase, the Message. That's the version. And I love some of the wording. God, my shepherd, I don't need a thing. You have bedded me down in lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. And the original, or how would you say it, like the not paraphrased version,
more literal translation.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. And just resting in, amidst the unknowns, amidst the uncertainties, of which there are many right now. He restores our souls, and he can, and he does. And I think, you know, living with cystic fibrosis, there are a lot of those times in life where we're forced to think through the valley of the shadow of death. And I think it's good for us as humans to think through these deep, scary things. And I'm glad in a way that this sort of thing, and this goes for like natural disasters and stuff like that, it forces us when we walk through those sorts of things to think through deep topics in our hearts and our minds. And so I've been forced to, I've had the opportunity to, throughout my whole life with CF, really come to grips with some of these really deep things. These are questions and thoughts that will be forever for my whole life. But I think growing up with a terminal illness, you are really forced to kind of think through these sorts of things. And I'm glad that people are entering into those conversations and thoughts, because it is important.
Yeah.
And then also just that reality that he restores our souls in the midst of all that.
Yeah. I think somebody asked me today, like, are you scared that Mary would get this virus and what it could do? And in many ways, I feel like this whole pandemic kind of snuck up on us because we got sick and didn't have time to think about it, really.
Yeah.
We were just like in survival mode of like get through the week, and then once we got through the week, we look at the news and like it's craziness around us, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we made it through that. We can make it through anything. Like that was kind of like our mentality. So I feel like we didn't have time to really process that thought. I think it is like a scary reality. But there's like this bigger reality for us in our faith that no matter what happens, like God is with us and walks with us. And that like just puts our souls at rest.
And the reality for a CF patient is any virus could be potentially deadly. There are some things that are worse. Like a stomach flu probably isn't gonna damage your lungs too bad. It'll set you back, just natural way, that's how it happens. But like respiratory viruses can be so detrimental. And so those germs are lurking in the world at all times. And so we've been used to that thought of, if I were to catch something, so we don't live in a bubble in the normal world. Right now, of course, everybody's in a bubble because we have to, out of necessity. We're quarantined, right? But other than times right now, we can't live in a bubble, and so we take each step in the grocery store knowing I could legitimately catch something that could possibly kill me at any time, like at any day, at any time. So I feel like we're just kind of honestly used to the thought that there could be something lurking around the corner that could kill me.
Yeah.
But we can't live in fear. All right, guys, we are walking with you guys through quarantining wherever you are in the world. And
thanks for
always,
bringing us via video into your home.
And as always,
we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Good night to this little guy. And this little guy. Good night, Bonesy boy.